Hi. So yesterday I talked a lot about like boys in high school and other things as well, but like that was the main focus, I guess. Like comphet crushes in high school. And by the way, if you don't know what comphet means, it's compulsory heterosexuality. And it's funny, Nikki Christine always has a hard time saying compulsory, and so shout out to her again, since she's so like her video about like how she discovered she was a lesbian kind of like inspired me to start making my own videos, in addition to Rowan Ellis's video about Black Mirror's queer conspiracy, unhinged lesbian rants about Black Mirror's queer conspiracy. um that made me watch Hotel Reverie, and then Hotel Reverie made me cry and want to start talking about it. So I just started filming, and now I'm just like waking up and filming a little video every day. So it's only been like 3 days, but it's the third day. The one after Hotel Reverie was like at night, so that doesn't count. So this is like the third day. I don't know, it's just like my third day out here. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about college and like my experience during college a little bit more, because I have like elementary school pretty much covered of high school. College was fun. My roommate when I was a freshman was like a girl who just was always able to get a boyfriend. Like she had so many boyfriends when we were in high school, like but she's like one of the only girls who like she didn't like stop talking to me when she would start dating somebody. Like she would invite like me to hang out with her and him, so it was like we stayed friends for a long time, like maybe partially because of that, because like there were so many times that like I'd be friends with a girl and then like we'd stop talking when she got a boyfriend, which did happen in college. So yeah, that happened like my freshman year of college. Yeah, I was living with that girl who had a lot of boyfriends. And yeah, I woke up to her having sex one day. So like we're not really friends anymore, because I'm like, how could you, like, that's so weird. Like I didn't consent to like be a part of this. Like I don't want to be in the room. Like we're in the same room. I feel like I need to specify that, because I've told that story before, and then someone was like, okay, and I was like, and I thought that was really weird. Like I didn't want to wake up and like see her and like a guy that I also knew outside of their relationship. Anyway, that's not the point. So like yeah, she had lots of boyfriends. I woke up to her having sex, but like I still couldn't get a boyfriend. And then like there was one guy in a class that I was taking, like a Greek history class, I guess. And he had like a British accent, and I thought that was really cool. Like I loved Doctor Who, like I've mentioned a few times in these videos so far. Talked about Doctor Who a lot actually in like these very few videos. Anyway, I don't watch it really anymore, but like I really liked it in high school. So like yeah, a little bit into college, and then like after, when I was in college, it like they changed. That's when like yeah, Karen Gillan's character died, and she was like my favorite, so because I'm gay. Anyway, yeah, I did have a crush on that one boy with the British accent. And yeah, nothing happened there. Like I asked him if he could give me a ride home for like spring break, because the person I was gonna go with was going like pretty early, or he wanted to go early, and like our class, the class that like me and this guy were in, like our final was super late. It was like one of the last ones, so I was like, I don't want to make him wait, so like can you give me a ride home for spring break? And he said yes, and so I thought we were gonna like be in the car for like hours together and like have a chance to like get to know each other or whatever. And then like yeah, he ended up canceling. He's like, oh, I'm not leaving till Tuesday instead, and I was like, well, that's like my dad's birthday, so like I kind of want to already be there by then, so okay. And also I was a freshman and he was he was a sophomore, or I think, I don't know, sorry. Yeah, he was older, but I was living in the dorms, and we like literally weren't allowed to be in the dorms like after like Monday, I don't know. So like, anyway, it was too late. I couldn't go with him. So yeah, that didn't work out, but it wouldn't have worked out anyway because I'm a lesbian. But that was like my first like college crush that I remember. And then there was the guy that I mentioned him in the video yesterday. I talked about it more if you want to go watch that one. But yeah, I thought like I could tell that he liked me, and then like at one point my friend told me that he liked her and that he kissed her. And so I was like, oh, he doesn't like me. And then we hung out like one-on-one, and I was thinking like, oh, he doesn't like me, like, and I was like over it by then too. I was like, I don't really like want this anyway. So like he didn't know that I like found out about him kissing the other girl and stuff. So then like we were hanging out. I think he thought maybe something would happen, but I was like already past that. So yeah, that was really traumatizing for me. As I said yesterday, it took me like 2 years to kind of get over that. And then yeah, there was another guy who like I met at work. He didn't go to I worked on my college campus, but like this guy didn't go to school with us. He just worked there like in the mornings and then would like leave. Yeah, no, I think he worked there till closing, but then he would leave. And then there was like another guy who would like stay and close. So okay, yeah, okay, actually I'm just gonna talk about, okay, so this is like a little crepe stand, and there's like but like my housemate, when I would tell him about this, he's like, you're like the queen of the crepes, because like it seems like every guy there has a crush on you. And I was just like I would get free crepes all the time, like every day. And it was great because I was like a broke college student and I needed to eat and I don't know how to cook, and it worked out for me really well, because like I got free food at the place where I worked, but it like, I don't know, I felt like this was like a little bit healthier than the like fast food places. So yeah. But yeah, there's one guy, I should make up names just to like keep it clear, but okay, yeah, there's one guy who started there. Let's call him like James, I guess. James, I remember going and being like, hey, do you need me to take out your trash? And then he talked for literally 45 minutes straight, and I was just like, okay. And I mean, my job was kind of boring, and I would walk around like taking out trash, and like my other job was washing dishes and stuff. It was like a little food court. So yeah, he just talked to me for like 40 minutes, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to go to work, so like I might as well just stand here listening to this. And then yeah, so like I think he might have misinterpreted that as like interest in him or something. And like the other guys that worked there would always be like, oh, like your girlfriend's here. Like when I would go up to get food, they'd tell him like, your girlfriend's here. And then it was like he lived in France for a while, or like I think he grew up in France, and he said he learned English by watching Friends. So like when I was taking French and I needed help with homework, I asked him, it's like, hey, can you help me with my French homework? And he was like, yeah, let's meet like before, like I had a test too, like one day. So that's like the way that my French teacher did stuff, was like the day of the test was the day all the homework and stuff was due. So like you could not do all the homework until like the night before the test, and like that's what I would do to study, pretty much. And so I was like, I'm gonna ask this guy for help, because there was one that I couldn't, like the listening exercises were really hard for me. So I was like, I need somebody who like can help me with that. And so I was like, yeah, let me meet up with this guy before class so he can help me with my homework. And then I'd gotten on the bus, like as soon as I sat down on the bus to like meet him, I got a message on Facebook from him, and he was like, oh, I can't make it, my rent's like 2 months late already, and I need to go like deal with that or something. And like I was kind of like, if it's already 2 months late, it can be one more day late, like you and also you would have known that yesterday, like why did you agree to like meet me? And like now I'm on the bus and I can't just like get off and like go back into my apartment and like go back to sleep until, because I think I still had one more day. Yeah, I don't know, I don't remember all the details, but yeah, so that didn't that was really annoying to me. He like agreed to help me with it and then like canceled last minute, and like I also had woken up early to meet him, and he was like, yeah, he made me late. So then he offered like the next day, but I think that's we were supposed to meet the day I had the test. So then I went to class, took the test, and then the next day he offered. He's like, I could still help you with your homework if you want. I'm like, I already like took the fucking test, like whatever, sure. And so we like still met, and he like helped me. He was like, what do you need help with? I was like, well, I needed help on the homework that was due yesterday, kind of thing. Ow! Okay, it wasn't that bad. I'm being dramatic. Hi, Wasabi. Yeah, so then like for the year that he worked there, every time I went up, everyone would be like, oh, Julian, oh, that's his real name, oops, your ex-wife's here. Yeah, so that was kind of annoying to deal with, but I would still go and get my free crepes. There was one time we went to a party, like, this girl in my math class invited me to a party, and I told him, like, he was like, oh, what's up? And I was like, oh, I'm thinking of going to this party, but I don't have a ride. And then he was like, I can drive you. And then I think he, yeah, might have thought there was something there, but then, oh, there was a boy in one of my econ classes that I kind of, like, I thought was cute, which, like, I recognized that he was, like, conventionally attractive for a man, but, like, I still wasn't like attracted to him. And like, yeah, I told some of my friends, like, he was sitting next to me in econ one day, and then like the teacher told us, like, it was a game theory class, and he was like, so here's this game where, like, okay, so you're in prison, or like you're arrested, you and like one other person commit a crime, and the cops tell you that if you confess, they'll reduce your sentence. You have like 10 years, but if you confess, they don't have any evidence to convict you or the other person, but if you turn in the other person, they'll reduce your sentence to 1 year, and then like they'll serve the whole 10. And oh, the thing is, like, they have evidence for like a smaller crime, so like if you don't confess, you're gonna go to jail for like 7 years or like 5 years, something like that. And then like you rob a bank and they have evidence of you like holding a weapon, but they don't know, like, I don't know. So yeah, I'm getting too into this. This is not that important. So it's like, if you confess, like, turn them in, you get 1 year, they get like 5 years. And if neither of you confess, you both get, or they get 10 years because they did the worst crime. And if neither of you confess, you both get 5 years. So like, it would make sense to like turn the other person in, because then you get off like easily, like 1 year. Sometimes it's like free, you get nothing. It depends. So anyway, the teacher told us to like turn to the person next to us, and he was like, okay, so you have 10 seconds, what would you do? Or like, count to 3, 1, 2, 3, what would you do? And I was like, I wouldn't confess. And then he was like, I would confess, I would like rat you out, you know? I was like, wow, thanks a lot, you know? And then we had like a little bit of banter, like little repartee. I think it's repartee. Okay. My brain just broke for a sec. Okay. We had a little witty banter. I'm gonna stick with that. And I was like, oh my god, he's the one, you know? And he was like Italian, and I thought that was like really cool. He was like foreign, and like, oh my god, that's so exciting. He's like here, like in America, from like another country. Like, I hate America. But yeah, I texted one of my friends about him, and then like she found him on Facebook, and then I remember just like looking through his pictures and being like, he like doesn't have any good pictures. It's like, that must be it. Like, it's not that he's not attractive, like, he's obviously really cute, and I just like can't find a good picture of him. That's it. So yeah, I was like really obsessed with like that guy. for a while. This was like the first time, I think, after the like sexual assault thing that I'd like let myself like somebody, I think, or not like let myself, but the first time that I did like feel like it wasn't a real crush, I don't think. It was like compulsory heterosexuality, but like, did I explain what that is yet? Anyway, uh, no, I did not. Well, Google it, just kidding. Yeah, so that didn't work out either. He said something, I remember, because I got free food from my work, and there's like a little Pizza Hut thing, and so I was like, I can give you free pizzas, and he was like, he's Italian, so he's like obviously disgusted at these little Pizza Hut mini pizzas that they have at the like, yeah, they're just like not very good quality. And so I kind of offered them as a joke anyway, because I'm like, yeah, he's Italian, he's not gonna want this. He wanted like my Taco Bell coupons. It was like a little food court with like there was also Starbucks, Free Palestine, boycott Starbucks, and McDonald's and Disney. Okay, let's see. So yeah, I offered him the pizzas. He was like, I don't have anything to eat, like, and I was like, oh, in America we have these things called grocery stores. You can go there and buy food. And then he said something like, in Italy we have this thing called slavery. You like make your slaves get food or something. He didn't like elaborate. He just said we have this thing called slavery, and I was like, what? Like, what? Why would you say that? Like, and then I googled it. I was like, Italy, like as the country that it exists as today, had like never had legal slavery, and I'm like, what? I don't know. Like, do you know about the history of slavery in America? Is that like, I don't know. Like, what? Like, do you know how bad it is? I think like he probably knows about it, but like, do you know the like the intensity of the atrocities that were committed? Like, I don't know if that's something that like I would joke about. Anyway, yeah, so I thought that was like weird, and it kind of gave me the ick, and then like I stopped talking to him, like I stopped like reaching out and stuff, and then I found him, like he would just message me and be like, oh, did you do the homework for econ? Like here are my answers. And I was like, I didn't even ask. Like, okay, cool, free answers to the homework. Yeah, so that didn't work out. Then there was another guy who started working at the crepe stand. The one guy had left. He moved like back to Florida or something with his dad. I don't know. So another guy started. I accidentally put his name. I was trying to like post about this on my Snapchat stories, and I like kept crossing out his name. Like when I like put screenshots of messages from him, I would like cross out his name, and then on one of them I forgot to do that. So like 2 people messaged me. They're like, yeah, you like kind of messed up the whole keeping his identity a secret thing here. And then it was kind of like too far bad. Like I was like, I'd have to like redo too many slides to fix it, so I just left it. So I was like, I'm probably gonna mess this up if I try to keep it anonymous. Let's call him Jerry, like Jerry, Gary, Larry, Gurgich. And then if I mess up a name, it's just like, oh, it's just like one of those, you know? So Larry and Terry, no, okay. So, I had this friend who worked with me, and she would tell me, I didn't tell her that I was like thinking I might be gay. I think I told her eventually that I was bisexual, but like when we met, and she probably assumed that I was straight, and she would tell me all the time, she's like, you and this guy would be so cute together, you and this guy. She told me so many times, about so many people that we worked with. There was one time she was like, you and Sean from Starbucks would be so cute together. I was like, I had thought that too, comphet crush, because like Sean and I had talked for like 10 seconds. I was like, oh my god, we're soulmates, you know? So I like, he'd added somebody else on Facebook that I was friends with, and I saw his profile, and I like clicked on it, and I saw that he had a girlfriend. I was like, oh, okay, never mind, like whatever. Replace him with the next guy that I talked to. Because it doesn't matter, they're just a placeholder. Anyway, yeah, so I had thought that for a brief moment, that we would be cute together. And then I saw that he had a girlfriend, and then so I said that, I was like, I think Sean has a girlfriend. And she was like, oh, I thought Sean was gay. Sean has a girlfriend? Okay, don't date Sean. She was like telling me that I should date him if he was a gay man, when like he would never, like, because if he's gay then he like wouldn't be attracted to me. And she's like, you should date him. So it's like she wants me to date somebody who like doesn't like me, versus like if he's straight and has a girlfriend, at least he would like, I mean, not that that's like a preferable situation or like a good thing to do, like I wouldn't like be this guy's like side chick or whatever, but like then at least he would be interested in me and not just like, anyway, I was like, that's a weird thing. Like she wanted me to date him if he was gay, but like as soon as he has a girlfriend, it's like, no, okay, don't date him. I shouldn't date him either way, actually, I think, but, and also because I'm a lesbian, it like no matter what Sean is, it wouldn't have worked out. So yeah, she told me all the time. And then there was another, yeah, there was one time we were sitting, it was like the middle of summer vacation, it was so slow, and like we had nothing to do, we would sit there on our phones all day. My other cat's in here. Hi Paul. Okay, he left. Bye Paul. So yeah, we were sitting there, she looked through her Facebook friends list, and like every guy, she's like, you and this guy would be cute. And I'm like, she's not even showing me. She's looking at her phone like this and like scrolling, and I'm sitting like over here. And so like her phone's like facing her. I can't see. She's just scrolling. She's like, you and Thomas would be cute together. You and Jeffrey. And I'm like, I don't know these people. Like she's from Florida. And we were in California. And so it was like, I don't know anyone you know. Like, why are you trying to get me to date like everybody? And I was like, just, it's so weird. And then so when this new guy started, Gary Larry Gingrich at the crepe stand, which like it's a fitting analogy too, because I think everybody kind of like hated this guy. It's not just me, but except for this one girl. She was like, you and Jerry would be so cute together. And I'm like, no. Like that was the first time I like fought back against it, I guess. But I was like, no, like, and the other guys at the crepe stand were telling me like, oh, like your husband's gone, but we got you a new husband or something, like, oh, you should date him. And I'm just like, ha ha ha, like I don't want to have to like reject him like to his face like all the time. Like, can you guys stop joking about this? It's so weird. Like I keep saying no. And then yeah, this girl, we were like in line to get a crepe, and she was like, would you be mad if I told you, or would you be mad if I like told Jerry to ask you out or something? And I was like, I guess I wouldn't be mad. I guess I'd be more annoyed. She's like, so you wouldn't be mad? Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, no, but I'd be annoyed. Like, I don't want you to do that. Just like for the sake of honesty, like anger wasn't the emotion, but still don't do it, you know? And so she did it, and they have, so you wait in line for the crepes, and you get like the little like fork and knife when you order. And so she picked up like one of the plastic knives. I had left, like she told me she was gonna do it, and I'm like, I don't want to be here for this. Like, I don't want you to do it. If you're gonna do it, I'm walking away. She's like, okay, bye. I was like, whatever, okay, bye. I can't stop you, I guess. But so she picked up a knife, apparently, from what I heard, and threatened him. She's like, if you hurt my friend, you know, I'm gonna and just like shook the knife at him, like a little plastic knife. But it's like, she's going around, okay, I almost mentioned this earlier, and I was like, I don't think it's really that important. This girl and I, like, we worked together like one Saturday shift, which like the campus was pretty much closed on the weekends, so nobody was like on campus to get like food and stuff, so we just were closed. There'd be like 5 people. Like I'd sit there and like we'd sit there on our phones by the door, and like 5 people would try to come in during the day, but like that was it. Like it wasn't worth it to be open, I guess. So they would have us come in, like my team who was like the trash, we picked up the trash and washed the dishes and stuff, so we would come in and like do some extra cleaning that we couldn't really get done while everyone was there. On the weekends, which we would have 4-hour shifts, and it would take us like maybe 1 hour, maybe 45 minutes to get through like everything that we were supposed to do. So that was kind of nice, because we could just like, yeah, we'd sit there on our phones for most of the shift and like pretend to work when our boss came in. not even, like, we'd be sitting there and be like, oh, sorry, we were just, like, this was our 15-minute break and you just caught us. Because he'd come in at 12:15, so it's like we take our break at 12 and then you come in at 12:15 and then we go back to work and then we go sit somewhere else where he can't see us and go on our phones. Michael, if you're watching this, I'm lying. For attention on the internet. I would never. I worked so hard at that job. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, we were working one shift together, me and this girl, let's call her, like, Iris. So Iris and we would talk. I told her, like, I was in theater in high school and I did Beauty and the Beast, and she was like, oh my gosh, we should be best friends. And, like, she would say that about everything that I said, like, we should be best friends. And then she started doing that, like, going around telling, like, not telling people, but, like, she would just be like, oh my god, Lauren, my best friend, like, blah 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 blah. And so, like, this girl who's going around saying, like, that we're best friends is threatening this guy, like, if you hurt my best friend, I'm gonna, so he's probably thinking that I do like him and I want him to ask me out. And then there's more, like, she messaged us, like, both of us on Facebook, so we started, like, a 3-way group chat. And then she was like, do you guys want to hang out this weekend? And then she was like, wait, no, I can't hang out, I have a date. And so it was like, okay, now, like, you've basically invited us, like, to, like, she's basically, like, forcing us to hang out at this point. And I'm like, he's like, then he messaged me privately and he's like, do you want to hang out? I mean, like, it doesn't have to be, like, it could just be as friends, but, like, I just don't really know anyone in town, like, I'm just new in town. And that was a lie. Because later, like, we did agree to hang out. He was like, do you want to go to this restaurant? I was like, I really don't want to go. But, like, I've already, like, rejected him so many times because of the other crepe guys saying, like, oh, you should date him. And then, like, now, like, I'm tired of just, like, having to say no. Like, okay, fine, let's just go to the stupid restaurant and then I'm just gonna be terrible and, like, you're never gonna want to hang out with me again, whatever. And I was like, so no, it wasn't like that. I was, like, just annoyed, but he was, like, saying he didn't know anyone in town and it could just be his friends, and I was like, okay, like, whatever, like, so yeah, then my housemate invited me to a party, and so I messaged him. I was like, would you rather go to this party instead, because you could probably meet more people than you would if we're just going to, like, it was like a bar / restaurant. We'd probably sit at the bar and then you can meet people, but, like, you're probably gonna meet more people at a party, you know? And so I was like, that sounds better, because then I'm not alone with him. I have my housemate there with me who's, like, a man. I was like, okay, I feel safer doing that. And I'd already, like, I messaged him our address so that he could pick us up and take us to the party. And then he was taking a long time, and my housemate was like, when's your friend coming? Like, I want to leave. So he ordered an Uber. The Uber got there, and so we, like, got in, and as I was getting in, I got a text from the other guy, Jerry. What's up, little kitty cat? And he was like, hey, I'm here. And I was like, well, we just got in the Uber, so I texted him the address to the party. What's up, little buddy? Do you need something? Okay. And so he was like, oh, he's like, no, you're coming with me. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not. Like, I'm literally already in the other car, and now that you said that, I would not go with you no matter what. So get the fuck out. I was like, no, we're, like, already on the way, so okay. Yeah, I did message him the address to the other party, because I think I told him that already. And at this point I was like, I wish I, like, didn't text him, you know, like, he'd already said something that was kind of annoying. He was like, oh, you better start getting ready now, I know it takes girls forever, haha, like, when I was, like, telling him the plans or something. So I was like, that's annoying. And then yeah, and there was also, like, a Facebook post that, like, I found from him that it wasn't even that I found, it was, like, 2 posts back from when I added him, because girl Iris was like sitting with us and like told us all, she's like, let's all add each other, you guys should. Oh my god, she was, ugh, this whole thing would have been avoided without her. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to this party. I already told him where it was, but then he said something like, oh, well, in that case, I'm just gonna go hang out with some homies in Sacramento. I was in UC Davis and like going to school there, and he's, I guess, from Sacramento, which is not that far. So I'm like, what? I thought you said you didn't have any friends like up like anywhere in town or anything. So I was like, okay, that was a lie too. And I'm like, good, like, I don't want you to come to this party, like go hang out with your friends. And then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna be with them for a little bit and then I'll stop by. And I was like, no, it's okay, I don't really know anyone here, like we just got here, I don't really know anyone, like you probably don't want to come. And then, which I did know some people there. There's like a guy in my French class and his girlfriend there. It was exciting, but super exciting. His girlfriend was like talking about politics the whole time, and like I thought this guy was kind of like sexist. Like I had a picture of Zayn Malik as my phone background for a while, and there was one picture where he was wearing a gold belt, and so this guy was like, who's that girl on your phone background? I was like, Zayn Malik, he's a man, but the Zayn from One Direction. He's like, oh well, he's wearing a gold belt, so I thought it was a girl. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. And then this girl was like very like politically aware of things, and I was just like, how does this work? Maybe I just got the wrong impression of him. Anyway, so like I was talking to them most of the night, but okay, we'll get there first in a second. I didn't see them until this guy showed up, but like I was hoping he wasn't gonna show up. And then I think he finally texted me. He's like, yeah, I think he said he wanted to be where I was. I was like, that's so weird. Like I thought this is just friends. Anyway, I just want to be where you are. Like I want to meet your friends. So he did end up showing up, but for some reason I thought he wasn't gonna come. And so I was like, okay, if he's not, like, when I thought he was gonna show up, I was like, I'm not gonna drink. I want to be like just very like aware of what's going on and just like in control, you know, of my my senses, and just like I don't want to be caught off guard because I'm drinking and he's like doing stuff. So I was like, I'm not gonna drink. And then I was like, I don't think he's coming because I'm like telling him not to. I'm like, I don't know anyone here, you stay and hang out with your friends. So I was like, okay. I haven't heard back from him in a minute, I think was what happened. So I was like, I think he's gonna stay with his friends. And so someone had a bottle of Hennessy, and there were like a couple shots left in it, like maybe 2 or 3, and they're like, do you want this? And I was like, okay. And then as soon as I finished it, I got a text from him. He's like, okay, I'm here. And I was like, oh fuck. Anyway, so yeah, he did show up. Anytime he walked into a room, I would like wait a minute and then walk into another room, and I was like hanging out with I would cling to my roommate the whole time until, yeah, I saw the guy from my French class, and I met his girlfriend, and we basically talked all night. And then it was like, yeah, it was a long time. And then there was one point I went and like I was sitting on a couch talking to like these 2 other girls, and I was like telling them about Jerry. I was like, have you talked to him? Do you think he's weird? I think he's like kind of like I don't know, I'm really uncomfortable, and like told them kind of like stuff that he'd said, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, that's kind of like sketchy, you know. And so then he came and sat down next to me. There was an empty spot next to me on the couch. Well, I was like, it was like one couch here, and so I was like turning and talking to them, and then he came and sat here. And so I was like really trying to like keep my body facing this way, like talking to them, and like it's like he can listen if he wants, I guess, whatever. And then he kept trying to like pull me. He's like, so like what do you like to do, you know, like trying to get me to just turn and just talk to him. I was like, no, like I want to talk to this whole group, you know. And so then luckily there was like a situation with the bathroom door at this party, and like a couple people had gotten stuck, like the lock like you go in, you lock it, and then it like doesn't unlock, I guess. And so like people are getting stuck in the bathroom. And so at one point he went up to go help get somebody out, and my housemate had ordered an Uber, and so we took that opportunity to slip out without saying anything. Yeah, and he messaged, I think, I don't know, did he message me something? He told like another coworker that we had about this whole situation, and my coworker came and told me, he's like, oh, I heard you and Jerry hung out, and like he said you don't have, he said you don't understand social cues. I was like, oh wow, that's super interesting. That's so interesting that he said that. Yeah, and then okay, I guess I might as well get into this. Let's come up with another name. So after we had I'd hung out with Jerry that time, I was like, I don't want to ever see him again, and he works with me now, and like I'm gonna see him every day, and that's just like the worst thing. Like I do not ever want to see him again. And then like I was at work trying to avoid him, and he like came up to me and was like, hey, do you want to hang out this Friday? And then I was like, I heard myself say yeah. I was like, how do I want to say no? But I said yeah. Yeah, sure again. Like I said yesterday, you don't want, if someone's like, if you're asking someone out, you don't want them to say sure. You want to say yes. You want them to say yes. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then I was immediately like, I'll just tell him like I have period cramps or something and I can't go. like I'm not gonna have to actually hang out with him, but like I don't know. I don't want to like reject him to his face. Like anyway, it was just bad. But luckily he got fired shortly after, and then he like texted me and he asked me what's the brand of cleaning supplies. He's like, what brand of cleaning supplies do we use at work? And I didn't answer that. And then I got like a couple pocket dials from him, and I could like kind of hear him talking, but I was like, I don't really care. Meow. Yeah, I'm like, that was not a good situation. And then like the first guy came back, whose name I did say. Hopefully some people missed it. So I'm gonna go back to calling him James. James came back. He worked there for like a little while longer. Then he left again. Oh, I didn't mention this. So after hanging out with Jerry, I told one of the other crepe guys, one of the guys who was always like, oh, your like ex-wife's here, you're like to James, and like telling me I should date Jerry. What did I call him? Jerry. So yeah, there's another guy, let's call him Sean. I already used the name Sean in this, but it's a different Sean. Okay. Let's go. So we'll call him Sean. So I told him like that whole story about what happened with Jerry, and like I think he started liking me maybe at that point. I do remember like I would go up to get a crepe and he would talk to everybody in line except for me. Like I would like literally just like see him like have conversations, like, and then I would walk up and then he wouldn't say anything, and then like the next person behind me is like, hey, how are you, what's going on? And I was like, oh my god, just he hates me. Whatever. And I was like, does he just like what's up with that? Or is it like because I work here and he's doing this for the customers and like I'm not tipping him, and so I'm not okay, like whatever, that's fine. And then like later another guy who worked there, when I told him that, was like, oh yeah, he's intimidated by pretty girls. And I was like, okay, thanks, I guess. That's weird. But yeah, so I think, yeah, he started to like me. One of my other coworkers pointed that out to me. He's like, oh, Sean likes you. And I was like, again, different Sean. Yeah, I was like, no, he doesn't. Like, what do you mean? Like, because I'm still thinking like, oh yeah, he like would talk to everybody except for me. Like, no, like he hates me. He would ignore me. And then yeah, I don't know. At some point things changed, I guess. Yeah, so he started liking me, and then there's another guy who started working there. Let's call him like Ronald. So we have Sean and Ronald. And then the girl Iris was like, you and Ronald would be so cute together. And like, this guy's like actually kind of like, well, like immediately when he started, I was like, no, like I'm not going through this again, you know? So I like wrote him off. And then like we hung out like one time and I was like, oh, he's actually kind of like interesting. Like, but again, like it wasn't like I saw him and I was like attracted to him at first. And like it was like, oh, somebody's telling me that like we'd be a cute couple. And like even though she tells me that about everybody, but like a lot of other people started saying it too. And so I was like, okay, maybe he does kind of like me. And like I don't know, I started kind of liking him. Like I followed him on Instagram and I like kind of liked the things that he posted. Like he posted about playing guitar and I was like, I played guitar. At this point, I was like, oh, I played guitar when I was younger, but now like oh, I play guitar because I play again. But like I hadn't played in a long time and I thought that was cool that he played and he was like kind of an artist. And yeah, I just thought like the things that he posted were actually like kind of like interesting and funny. And like I don't know, I was like, oh yeah, we hung out one time because the other guy Sean had like these MMA fight nights at his house. Like he would I don't know if I should say this, but it's like he would have like he somehow like illegally got the like pay-per-view fights for free, and so he would like play them at his house. Like he hooked up his computer to the TV so like the whole like living room could watch. So he would have these like little parties, and he would invite me to them, and I'm like, what about me makes you think I would want to go to that? Like why why would you invite me? And then so I kept saying no, and then for some reason, like one week, they were all talking to me like I had said yes. They're like, oh yeah, when you go to Sean's this Saturday, whatever, blah blah blah. I was like, when you go to Sean's, like, cause you're going, like. I was like, did I agree to that at some point? Like, what's going on? Like, why why are they talking to me like this? And then yeah, like, I asked Ronald if I was like, how are you getting to Sean's? Like, because they told me he was going. They're like, it's not just for the fight. Like, we have like food and like some drinks and like we're just hanging out, you know, just like a fun time. And then like we're also watching the fight. And so I was like, okay, like whatever, I guess. Like, let's go. So I asked Ronald. I was like, how are you getting there? I was like, he's gonna say he's biking because we live in Davis, which is like the bike city of the world. I don't know about that. I think it's the place the bike lane was invented though, so it's like there's like a museum of biking there. Biking's very important in Davis. So I was like, he's gonna bike. I live too far. I don't have any way to get there, so I don't have to go. Crisis averted. And then Ronald was like, oh yeah, I'm driving. Do you need a ride? He didn't say, he's like, why do you need a ride? And I was like, no, no, I don't. I don't want to go. Like, but I was like, yeah, sure. So like he gave me a ride. And that's like the first time we were like actually alone together, and it was kind of like nice, I guess. I don't know. It was really awkward. I think I'm just like trying to project onto it that it was nice because, yeah, because everyone told me that we would be cute together. But like looking back on it, I'm like, it was actually kind of awkward. Like, I don't know. I felt really uncomfortable and like I didn't know what to talk about. And like there was one time he was like, does silence make you uncomfortable? And I was like, no. And then he just like didn't say anything the whole time. I was like, okay, cool. I don't know what to do. This is weird. So like I don't know. I guess I like it kind of reminded me of like Edward Cullen. Like he's like, Bella, we shouldn't be friends. I didn't say I don't want to, but we shouldn't, you know, kind of thing. Like, does silence make you uncomfortable? I was like, okay, we're just not gonna talk the whole way. Cool. And so he gave me a ride, and then everybody was like smoking, and I wasn't really like a big smoker. So I was like, no, I don't want. And then I was getting like really bored. I was just like, I don't want to be watching this fight, and everybody's like high, and like and so like eventually I like took a little bit of a hit, and then I feel like I got way too And like these guys are like stoners, and they're like, they got the good weed, you know? So I was like out of my mind. And then we left like way, I thought we were gonna be there for longer, and then we left like way sooner, and so it was just like me and this guy in the car alone. And then I was like so out of my mind, and then it was like, woo. So he drove me home, and then like the next weekend we went again, because like now it's just like a thing that we do, even though I didn't want to like watch MMA fights in the first place. And then so we went again the next weekend. He gave me a ride again. And then like we went, I had brought my wallet, because I was like both of those times I brought my purse the first time. Oh yeah, the guy that gave me the ride, he like got up and left, and I was like, wait, is he leaving? Because he gave me a ride here, like I need I need a ride home. And then he's like, oh yeah, and then like he totally forgot. So I was like, okay, that's weird. And then like the next time he gave me a ride again, and I brought my wallet, because I was like, what if like he wants to get food or something after, like. And then he didn't say anything. I think he was like busy after that. And then like the next week we went, and I like didn't bring anything. And then he's like, hey, do you want to get like In-N-Out after? Because I live in Missouri now, but I lived in California. I have dreams about In-N-Out sometimes. I miss it. He's like, do you want to get In-N-Out? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like I didn't bring my wallet this time. It's funny, I brought it the last 2 times because I thought like we might get something after, and then we didn't, and so I didn't bring it this time. He's like, that's okay, I got you. And I was like, you guys give me free food like at work all the time, you don't need to do that. And I saw him like check his like Chase account balance while we were in line, and I was like, oh my god, this is bad. And like on the way there, he told me, like we were talking a little bit about tattoos. I didn't have any tattoos or piercings at this point. I was like, so like a young little Christian girl mindset, like, oh, those are like, tattoos are bad and stuff, and piercings are like, I just thought piercings would be painful. I thought they were really pretty, but like tattoos are like bad, and they're like, I mean, obviously I have some now, not obviously because they're all covered. I have like 5 now, so, and like 1 nose piercing and then 3 helix piercings up here, so like obviously I've changed my mind. And this was like kind of why, but like we were talking about it. Oh, because that girl Iris, I remember there was one day, like one of the guys at Starbucks made like 3 people cry in a row. I saw him sitting at a table while I wasn't working yet. I was a little early, and so like I sat with him. He was like with another girl who worked there studying, and she was studying for a history class, and he was asking her these questions about like World War II and stuff, and he was just like quizzing her with her flashcards, and like what year did World War II start and stuff, and she was like, I don't know, and he's like, how do you not know this? And like kind of like screaming at her like, how do you not know? And like he made her cry, and then he made another person cry, I don't even remember, and then he made her cry talking about like tattoos that he wanted, this girl Iris. And then Ronald, he got one of those like, I think it's Birchbox like temporary tattoos on his arm, kind of like down like the whole thing. So he had one of those, and we were talking about it, and then I wanted to see if we could get Iris to cry again, getting him to talk about his tattoos. So then I didn't know it was a Birchbox tattoo, so like then I went up to him and I was like, oh, like something about your tattoo, like can you like tell a tear-jerking story to get Iris to cry? And then he showed me his arm, and it was gone, and I was like, oh my god, you just didn't you just have a tattoo there? It's like, it was like one of those fake ones. But he's like, I do have some real ones. And so he like kind of showed some of them. And then so then we were in the car together, he was like talking about it more. And he mentioned that like his dad was abusive, and said that like he's like, if you ever get a tattoo, I'm gonna cut it off, kind of thing. I was like, wait, but you do have tattoos though, so like what, has your dad not seen him? He's like, oh, I haven't talked to my dad in years or something. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. He's like, he told me a little bit about like his traumatic, like, yeah, like getting to know me means like getting to my trauma. And then like I wanted to tell him a little bit about my trauma, like being sexually assaulted, but I was like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like the right time, and we're like about to pull up to In-N-Out and like eat, I don't know, I changed the subject. It's just like, so what other tattoos did you want to get, you know, to like not totally change the subject, like we're still like talking, but like, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. And then like, yeah, that made me feel like really close to him. And then like I wanted to tell him about mine, but then I didn't. And so like I had this, I was like this like secret thing kind of that I wanted to like tell him, that I was like waiting for the right time to. Yeah. And then like one thing that happened after the sexual assault was like, I had a hard time eating. I would like eat half of my food and then like feel really nauseous. And so like when we were at In-N-Out, I ate like half of my burger, and then like I took a bite and like I almost like I kind of gagged a little bit in my mouth. And he was like, are you okay? And I feel like on the way home maybe would have been a good time to be like, hey, like he was busy after that. So like I was like, it's still not really a good time because it's probably gonna be a longer story. Like I live like 2 minutes from In-N-Out. I was like, I'm probably gonna be telling this story for way longer, and then he's gonna be late to his thing. So I was like, it's still not the right time, but like I'll tell him eventually about what happened. And like yeah, just like and then he one day I found out that he moved, like, and he quit our job. Like it wasn't, we didn't work at the same like job because he was at the crepe stand, I was at the like, it's called utilities. But yeah, so I was like, one of the other crepe stand guys is like an older Vietnamese man, and then his son was like high school age working, so he would work there too to get some like extra money. And then yeah, so like the son graduated from high school one day, and like I was invited to the graduation, and so were like the other crepe guys, and then we went out like to eat after. And like I thought like this guy was gonna go, he like stayed and closed the crepe stand for like, I guess it was like the first and only time. And I thought he was gonna like meet us like and come to dinner with us afterwards, like if he was gonna miss the graduation, cause like, yeah. But anyway, I actually, my coworker told me that she talked to him, Ronald, and she was like, hey, so like what's up with you and my coworker? And he was like he clarified like me, like, why does she talk about me? And like I didn't talk to her about him because I was like, she can't keep a fucking secret. So I was like, I never said anything to her, but I had told like Iris, like I do, like, you know how you said me and Ronald would be together? I do think like maybe we would be, you know? And she's like, oh my god. But like, so like she would have been like, no, I haven't heard anything, like just talk about me, no. But yeah, I kind of thought like, so my coworker told me that they had this conversation, and I kind of thought like, okay, something's gonna happen, like I'm gonna take charge, you know, like feminism. This was like 2017 probably, like it's 2017, feminism. I'm gonna ask him out. I'm gonna walk up to him on Friday and be like, hey, do you want to like hang out this weekend? Do you want to like go see a movie? Blah blah blah. And then so that was, she told me on Wednesday, and I was like, I'm gonna ask him on Friday. And so the graduation was Thursday. And so like I remember like the last thing I said to him was probably like, hey, can I borrow a broom? Because like they had a broom, and there's like a little like spill, like trash on the floor, like near their crepe stand, and I didn't want to walk all the way back to the back to get my broom. It's like, can I borrow your broom? And then like I gave it back, and I was like, I'll probably see him later at the dinner, like whatever. And then like probably every day that we have worked together for the foreseeable future. And then yeah, so I left, I went to the graduation, I didn't say bye or anything. And there's a girl walking from Starbucks, because this was like a week before finals. This is like so it was like Thursday, then Friday, then finals week would have been Monday. So there's like one girl walking from Starbucks, and I like, he was in front of me and I was like right here, and the girl was like, oh my gosh, bye Lauren, it's my last day, I'll never see you again, kind of thing. And he was like right there for it. And I was like, I thought about that later. Okay, so yeah, basically, spoiler alert, that was his last day. He didn't tell me like, hey, I'm not coming back to work tomorrow or ever again. And also I'm moving to another city. So he did tell me he was thinking about moving like a month before, but I never heard like an update about it. Anyway, so yeah, I went to the graduation. We went to dinner. On the way to dinner, we were like in the car, and somebody had mentioned like, oh, it's Ronald's last day. I was like, what? And I thought he was messing with me to like try to get me to have a reaction to like prove that I liked him or something. I was like what what do you mean it's his last day? Like, oh, he's messing with me. So I didn't like react, and then he's like, right, Lauren? And I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, today. He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I did not know that. And then I was like so upset like the whole time at dinner. And then there's another girl who worked with us like before, like when I worked with the guy who sexually assaulted me, she worked with us too. So she knew him, and she was there. She's like this guy's tutor, the guy who graduated. So she was there. And so she brought that up too. So I was just like having a terrible time at this dinner, like thinking like, oh my gosh, this guy, like finally, like everyone's like, you guys would be so cute together, and like finally I'm like, okay, maybe we would be. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask him out, and now he's like, that was his last day? Like, what do you mean? And now like you're bringing up the guy who like sexually assaulted me, and they're like, and then they wanted me to ride back. They're like, you should just ride back with her. And I was like, I can't. I can't do that. I'm too emotional. Yeah, so I was like, I made them drive me back. Like the long, yeah. It was really inconvenient for them to drive me after. Anyway, that's not the point. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty much the end of my college experience. Because then I moved back home. That was like my senior year, and then, no, actually I stayed 5 years because there was like an English credit that I didn't understand how it worked. So there was like lower level English classes and like writing. There's a UWP, which is like a writing class that you were supposed to take, but you could like replace that with an English credit. And then there was like an upper level writing class that I guess I assumed could also be replaced with an upper level English credit. And so I thought I had covered it with English classes, but I guess I didn't. And so I had like one more credit that I needed after like senior year graduation. And then I was like, okay, one more semester. And then I had like the lease at my apartment for a year. So it's like I just stayed and worked. And I was taking Italian because of that Italian boy from earlier. But actually it was just like kind of like a filler class because I taken Spanish, I taken French. And I was like, Italian would probably be like a pretty easy A for me for this like last quarter. Yeah, they call them quarters. Like the last quarter of my college career. So it's like, that's gonna be pretty easy. And then I liked the Italian teacher that I had. He was like, he made it really like stick in my head, you know, like more than like when I go to speak French, like I'm kind of like, I don't remember. Same with Spanish, but like with the Italian, like he would make us like pronounce it and like say it. Like he would ask us every day, like, what did you do yesterday? And I would always say like, oh, lavorato, or like I was working, but like, or I had worked. But yeah, he would make us say something like that every day, like, how are you? And then we would say like, oh, sono stanchi, I'm tired, I think is what that means. But yeah, so I wanted to keep taking it. So I emailed him after like my official like course credit completion. I was like, well, I don't need to take any more classes. So like, I'm not technically a student, but like, can I just sit in on your Italian classes? So I would go, and I was like, I promise I'll raise my hand and like answer questions if no one else is. And he's like, oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Because he'd be like standing there asking a question, and like I'm like, everybody here knows the answer, but nobody's like raising their hand and saying it. And he's like, I should have been a dentist. I would have made more money pulling teeth than this. He would say that all the time. So I was like, I promise I'll answer questions. So yeah, I wasn't actually taking classes this whole time, like with Ronald. So yeah, after that, it was like then finals were happening. I was planning on staying like another year and working at the crepe stand. They'd offered me like a job there. But then like after he left, he like moved, and then there were like 2 weeks where like I was still working. And I would like walk around like the town and just like see a car that looked like his and just feel like such a pang of like, oh, just like stabbing in my heart, like just like, oh, I can't believe he just like left without saying anything, and like just like abandonment issues getting triggered. But like, yeah, at the end of the day, like it does kind of seem like, why didn't, like, if I really liked him, like it would have been so much easier. Like I don't think that there was actually like romantic attraction there. um like I think I wanted there to be, because I wanted to just like be normal, I guess, and I wanted to just like have a boyfriend and like have this stuff like figured out. Like I just wanted to fall in love. um and like the most common representation we see is like straight people, like heterosexuals. So like when I imagined it, I usually imagined like with a man, I guess. But and it's not just like that it happened naturally or like because of movies either, but like I also had that aunt that I was talking about in another video like recently, probably 2 days ago. I don't know. But yeah, she was like very religious and like told me that if gay people were allowed to get married, that means like preachers couldn't read certain parts of the Bible, pastors, whatever, out loud. And that's bad. And so gay people can't get married. Yeah, just like very homophobic in that way. Yeah, I remember one time, like I didn't like eating anything green, like vegetables, lettuce, broccoli, peas, like anything like that. I did not want to eat it. Green beans, asparagus, I hated it all. And so I remember one day she was telling me like, you know, when you grow up and you get pregnant, like you're gonna have to eat salads and stuff, like for the baby, so like to keep the baby healthy, so you might as well start now and get used to it. And my logic was like, okay, why wouldn't I just like do it for as little time as possible if it's unpleasant? Like I don't want to so no to that. And yeah, just she would say things like that, like when you're older and like your husband's gonna want blah 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 when you get older, and you get pregnant, and because obviously you're gonna like grow up and like be in a heterosexual relationship and like have kids, because obviously. And so it's like, I don't know, not like the call wasn't coming from inside the house, like she implanted that in my brain. So yeah, like when I talk about like the guy from high school who like I thought was my soulmate because he didn't drink or do drugs or even swear, which like changed senior year. He went to a party and like someone got him to, and then he started doing like all of that stuff. So I was like, okay. And also he's gay. So anyway, but yeah, when I talk about that, like when I say I thought we were soulmates, like when I imagine it, it's literally just like a one frame, basically, like a little GIF size like fantasy. And like I see like a room and there's like the doorway to the kitchen, like a living room, and then like I can kind of see the kitchen. There's like the sink, he's like there at the sink. There's like, he likes taking care of plants, he likes music, he has really good taste in music. So I imagine like, and then like in the living room there's like bookshelves, and there's like 2 chairs, and like I'm sitting in a chair reading. There's like a little like record player next to me. He's picked out the music and he's like in the kitchen cleaning because he likes cleaning. So yeah, that was like my fantasy. It wasn't like like we're really in love, like we were roommates basically. We were just roommates. But yeah, like the other girl that I was talking about that I was like, I still feel like maybe one day we'll reconnect. Like when I think about her, and it's like I want to wake up next to her. I want to like see what outfit she picks out in the morning, and then I feel like no matter what happened in the day, like I'd be okay because I woke up next to her and I saw what outfit. She has like great fashion taste. Anyway, so yeah, I was just like the difference between those fantasies is just like very real to me, you know. Like one of them is like, well, we're waking up next to each other like in bed, you know, and like the other one is very platonic versus like implied sexual and romantic. Like I'm not seeing the like sex scenes and like the whatever, but like where, yeah, it's implied. It's like my imagination just cuts, it's like the fireplace and then it cuts away. It's like the reverse order that it usually goes. Anyway, this video is over an hour. I've talked about like every person that I knew in college at this point. That's not true, but most of the, yeah, that's like the big crushes, comphet crushes. I didn't really have a crush on any like girls in college, I don't think. I do remember there was one time like I saw a girl like and I was like, oh, she's pretty, and I went up and like talked to her, and she like mentioned a boyfriend like pretty quickly, and I was like, oh, okay. And I felt like that happened a lot. There's like one other lesbian who worked with us like at the same building, but like we never worked really together, and I wasn't really attracted to her anyway. Like she wasn't my type, but like yeah, one of the guys, when I called him James, when I told James that I thought I was a lesbian, he was like, oh, this other girl's a lesbian, you guys should like whatever, like I'll talk to her for you, you know. I was like, I've been working here with her for years, like I knew that she was a lesbian, but it doesn't like just mean like I don't know if she knows who I am, you know, but like yeah, we just had never talked basically. So, and then I like tried after that, like we were in the locker room at one point together. I was like, I'm gonna try to like start a conversation, and then like I think someone else walked in and they started, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't like meant to be, you know, like it didn't happen. There was like one girl who we worked with was really pretty. She worked at, actually it was like a food truck outside, but they would come in and like we would wash their dishes for them. And then after we took out all the trash, they would dump a bunch of rice and chicken in it and make it like super heavy, and it was really annoying. But this girl would never do anything wrong. I thought she was so pretty. And then there was one time like I was hanging out with like there's like the guy who was the manager of the food truck, and like another guy that were friends, and then like that girl and like me, like the four of us were hanging out for some reason. I don't know. And we were playing that like game Heads Up, and one of the clues was like Madonna, and so she was like, Lauren, kiss me. I was like frozen. Like I think about that sometimes. I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back there and just like kiss her, but like I just got like so like frozen. I was like, what if she finds out I'm gay? And this is like my first like I talked about my actual first kiss with a girl before, but like I said I kind of forgot about it for a long time. Like I think at this point like I had forgotten that happened, so I would have been like, oh, this is like my first real kiss, and like, oh my god, like not like real because we're not like, this is a dare kiss. It definitely would fall in that category, I think, because it's like a performance kiss, maybe even like, because she wanted me to like be the Britney Spears so that they would, but I was like, how would, also I'm not on your team, also how would that make them guess Madonna? Like they would just be like, oh, now these two girls are kissing now, like they'd be like, I guess this game's over. Like I don't know, I was like, I don't think that's really the best thing to do in this situation. But anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this because we're over an hour and I haven't eaten yet and my tummy's getting hungry. So okay, thanks for watching. My hair over here says bye. Ow. Alright. Go stream Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion if you haven't listened to it. It's so good. Okay, bye.